everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld. We've got a lot to talk about for the upcoming trading week, including that last week, a little bit of a sell-off there. Even though that core PCE price index number came out at 0.3% as expected, markets didn't really like that. And they were a nice sell-off on Friday, which erased most of the week's gains. Now, will we see things like that this week? Probably not that type of move because there isn't that monumental data coming out this week. But I'll start things off with our earnings calendar, and I'm telling you, it is incredibly light earnings calendar this week. As you can see here on the screen, there's only 281 companies reporting. Monday, you've got absolutely nothing. Tuesday brings you Zscaler and Neo. I just put that on there because everybody wants to know about these EV stocks. On Wednesday, you've got Salesforce, you've got Figma, Hewlett Packard, Dollar Tree, and I don't even know why I put Macy's on there anymore, but because we're at the tail end of the retail sales announcement weeks, I put Macy's on there. And even more retailers. On Thursday, you've got Broadcom, Lululemon, DocuSign, and Ciena. And my friends, that is it. Nothing more to see on the earnings front. So really last week with NVIDIA's earnings, and that was kind of a little bit of a shocker too. This week, kind of a quiet one. So what else do we have to look forward to? Well, I'm telling you, it all comes down to the J, to the O, to the B, to the S. That is jobs. Employment data will be center stage this week, particularly on Friday when we have the big announcement. But here is what we've got cooking. We start things off on Wednesday. Because it's a shortened week, of course, Labor Day, markets will be closed on Monday. We get this bumped to Wednesday. Normally the JOLTS job openings happens on Tuesday, but it's on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Thursday, we actually get a double whammy. Or as I said, everything got moved up. So you have the ADP non-farm employment change. That's Thursday at 8:15 a.m., followed up by the unemployment claims on Thursday at 8:30 a.m., and then the big daddy, the one that most people are keeping their eye on, the unemployment rate will be Friday at 8:30 a.m., as well as that non-farm employment change. At this point, again, all eyes are on the inflationary data. We had a horrible PPI a couple weeks back. Last week, we had that core PCE price index, which shows 0.3. Well, remember, 0.3 annualizes 3.6% inflation, and that would be above what the Fed wants. And right now, everyone is trying to figure out what on earth is going to happen with rates. Is the Fed going to lower September 17th? We just don't know. And of course, as we get closer to that, we'll talk about more of the possibility and probability of a rate cut or maybe even staying the same based off of the economic data. Now, let's dive into more economic data that may be a factor in this. We're going to look to the Institute of Supply Management. That is the ISM Manufacturing PMI. That number will be coming out on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That'll give us a sense as to what manufacturing looks like here in the United States. And then we have one last little itty-bitty piece here, and that is September is here. Oh yes, the doom and gloom. Historically, September is the only negative month according to the S&P. Now, does that mean that we're going to crash? Well, I'll tell you what. What you should do is you should read the latest episode or latest issue of the Trading Academy newsletter. You can find that at tradingacademy.com. I wrote an article all about September, the myth, the hype, the reality, whatever the truth may be. Certainly the statistics do show a historical negative presence for September. And maybe some of the market moves we've seen over the past couple weeks have been foreshadowing that, as the markets have been rather choppy and somewhat negative. So September is here. I, for one, don't buy the whole doom and gloom stuff. But remember, our job as a trader is to anticipate where markets are going to go and react to what the market information is. If we start to see a sell-off in September, then okay, let's get short. If it continues this nice bull rally that we've seen, then stay long. But bottom line is September is here. A lot of people are nervous about that. And there's a lot of other things moving the markets this week. But we officially have the end of August. It's done. Let's move on to September. Hope you guys have a great trading month. Of course, I'll see you 4 or 5 times before we get to October. That is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.